Podcast Network. My name is Emily Gilmer and a podcast engineer here, and we're excited to bring you another episode of The World of Trees with Sherry Wallace, which is all about the funeral reform industry and natural burial and having a society and so on. So I'm going to pass it over to Sherry to kick us off.
Thank you, Emily,
Guest.
again. Thank you for helping me because I have no idea how to do a live streamed podcast. Hi, Emily. So I'm Sherry Wallace, and I am reforming the funeral industry, and these are some of my people. And I am happy to introduce you guys to new people every week. And there's new people in every state, and you could be one of them. And we're going to talk about our roles in funeral reform and why we're here and what we do in life and how we see this whole project moving on. And I am happy to introduce first David Hutt from the World's Greatest Humility Project, who's teaching me humbleness. Me, who I thought everybody deserved my opinion. Me, who who had to put grown men in their places for years. I had to be the authoritarian, and here I am trying to change my game to humbleness. And I meet David Hutt. Come say hi, David.
Hi, David. Okay, so anyway, Sherry, thank you. Let me just share. I have 4 things I wrote out for you, just for you, about how amazing your project is and how amazing you are. One is, it's a profoundly simple concept, and brilliant ideas that change the world are inevitably simple. There's a term called Occam's razor, which William of Ockham, who always said, the truth is what the simplest aspect of it is, and if it's complicated, it ain't true. And yours, while it's going to take a lot of work to do properly, is a paradigm shifting, simple idea that is so obvious once you say it that it's amazing. Not everybody does it. It's especially good because 52% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. So for them, because partly they're afraid of death and partly because they don't want to think about it and partly because it costs too much, it's the last thing in the world they want to deal with. And you have an amazingly simple solution. Number 2 is you personally are a very rare combination of being very principled, very determined, very honest, and very humble. And I am humbly pleased to be close to you and to know you. Number 3, I personally am aware of death every day, and I use that understanding to have a passionate love affair with life. And that's one reason I want to be involved in what you're doing. And lastly, as I live in North Carolina, I hope to take advantage of the membership. And the way that I will be helping you, as long as I have a brain and a body still, is to help with writing and bring in a little poetic aspects to what you're writing and work as a grammar police if you'd like. And I'm committed to helping you with that for as long as I'm around.
Oh, thank you, David. Thank you. Let me go ahead and bring Paul in and then Stephen, and then we'll circle back around. How's that? Yeah.
Well,
Paul, come. I love Paul. I want you guys to know that I met Paul through David, and we're all a part of this humbleness project that David is teaching grown folk like us how to return back to being humble and how freeing and liberating it is to say, I'm not sure, but, or I don't know, I'm not trying to change you, but here's what I learned. And just to give up that power of being right. And so I meet Paul and David in this humbleness club. We're going to get Stephen, coolest guy we know. into the humbleness club also. But Paul, come in, tell us about you. Tell us about how we got here.
It's not about me, Sherry. And I'm glad to be here because my friend David is trying to also assist me with the difference between humility and arrogance. And I need support with that because here's an example for the audience. I suggested we not be on the same call, but no, Sherry wanted us on the same call. So I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself, but he took up half the podcast with his simple 4 steps. It's supposed to be simple. Love this guy. It's this simple. Everybody who's listening, it's coolest. It's this simple. This is why, first of all, if truly a vision from God, it will be completed. But this is why Sherry's the right person. And all of you listening, including the coolest, I can't work with David. He's too beyond work helping him. But if you would listen to this, then you'll understand why Sherry's the perfect person for this project. And I want you to all take this to heart. The quality of your contribution in life. This is now becoming Sherry's calling and contribution in life. The quality of the contribution in life will determine your future. When you work to improve the lives of others, your life improves automatically. That's it. Bottom line. It doesn't need 4 steps like David. It doesn't need to be complicated. It's that simple. We just work to improve the lives of others. Sherry has a vision and a mission to help people with less expenses. I've been in the insurance business 42 years, more than 42 years, selling life insurance. And I have seen the pain and suffering of people having to start GoFundMe pages or not have last expense coverages. And we're all struggling to pay bills and try to afford life insurance. But this vision and this woman is going to help change the industry and really help people in need that can't afford last expenses. So almost as long as yours, David, but a little simpler. It's that simple. Work to improve the lives of others and your life will improve automatically, period. Thank you,
I
Sherry.
don't even know how I'm getting paid in any of this yet. I haven't. I'm just putting my money in and trusting God. I'm figuring something's gonna happen and somebody's gonna. I'm like looking at those little kittens that were born outside in the garage, and they're just as fast and fat as they can be. And who took care of them? Just they have nothing. And look at me, how lucky I am. I got a sweater and glasses.
Sherry, now I'm even more excited that John's on the call.
There's a John.
You don't see John? Oh, he muted himself.
Hey, John.
And he disappeared.
Oh, John.
He left.
What?
I scared him.
Oh, I forgot John. I forgot John.
Well,
I bet
when you have the
he'll come
coolest
back
on
in.
when you have the coolest on the call, you would forget John. So
And
I
I
wanna-
didn't talk to him today, or I haven't talked to him since Monday. But thank you for that, Paul. I appreciate it. I took a test yesterday, and it taught me the word altruism. And altruism is when a person or a company puts the good of others before the good of themselves. And you wouldn't believe the number of people that look at me like, you are dumb, lady. You're not going to reform the funeral industry. You're not going to make them free. You're not going to get people to change their mind. You can't do this. You can't do it. There's rules. What about zoning? What about whatever? And I'm like, watch me. I can't wait. I take it as a challenge every time somebody says anything like that. I'm like, all right. Hey, John, thank you for coming. Thank you so much.
No problem. We had a little technical difficulties, but I'm here.
No problem at all. Stephen Coolest, the coolest guy I know. Please come in and and tell us why you're here.
Kind of hard to top those. Hopefully I can be humble in this one, but
You're
well, what
breaking
attracts
up,
me to
Stephen.
this.
Stephen, you're breaking up. Sorry. I want to hear you. We want to hear you.
Oh, sorry. So, is this better? Can you hear me now? So, what has attracted this whole Let's Be Trees thing? What's got me attracted to this really is my spirit of rebellion against the system. I want to push back, and literally we can literally rage against the machine. We can throw our body weight into this and like have real social change. And it's a grassroots movement. It's what your ancestors did, just bringing it back to the basics. You know, at some point, the Civil War era, like everything got crazy. It got commercialized. And it's to a point now where it's like we live in a, what do you call it, a selfie society. You know, everyone loves taking pictures. They love custom making things and making it about them, but they leave something like their own burial, their own death rights off the table. You know, it's like someone was saying earlier, you know, you try not to think about these type of things, but it doesn't make it go away. It just puts a burden on your own family. And so I guess just seeing how you can topple a system, that's what really interested me about this. And so where I can come in and add value to the team really is I just want to I want to get membership growth. I want to expand the membership growth, develop, you know, business strategies and figure out way to get the numbers, and using the technology that's already available, you know, at our disposal, you know, this free technology that's in front of us, you know, to get the numbers that we need. Because it's a culture war, and right now they're winning, you know. And so we have like this ability. It's almost like the Matrix. It's like you're plugged into the Matrix and you're trying to wake everybody up to it. And it's such a cool thing. And even for somebody, I'm 38, but like I have a 15-year-old daughter. She thought this was awesome, you know. And it's like, whoa, if we can hit that generation, you know, we're doing something good. And so I'm hoping, you know, to kind of bridge that gap, that generational gap, and make this death industry something that's on people's front burner and something that's a focal point, part of the dinner conversation at home. And meeting y'all and just seeing how I can be an asset and how I can add value, it's exciting to me. So yeah, I'm a hype man, and I'm really hype about this. And I'll just try and be humble now and pass it back to y'all.
I want you to join our humbleness project, and I'll even pay for your first month. I think that you'll get so much gain out of this, especially at your age, because it's hard to be humble when you're young and beautiful. It's difficult when you're getting all the girls. It's you get more humble as you get older, though. Trust me. It comes natural, you know. So thank you, Stephen. Thank you for being here. Thank you for representing. And your daughter is studying graphic arts, and I can't wait to get her involved in this, and her generation involved in this. When funerals are $100 and the only thing you got to do is figure out how to throw a party, that's when people are going to be excited to plan their funeral. And I totally look forward to seeing at what everybody is able to come up with in light of doing it completely different. So John, you're on mute, my friend, but I would love for you to come off of mute and introduce yourself, what you do up there in Massachusetts, and what you're doing here with us today.
Oh, what I'm doing here is something very much worthwhile. Having gone through funerals myself, that's been hard to come up with the cash for. having family members who have a hard time paying for loved ones. This is something that this whole country needs. And Sherry, I'm glad you're sitting down. I just got approved the other day to advertise. Are you ready for this? Disney/Hulu.
You got approved to do advertising on Disney Hulu?
Yes, I did. And by the end of the year, they said Disney Plus, and along the road will also be CBS and ABC. So
And you
rather
love
than-
me, don't you?
So instead of just being emails and things like that on social media, let's go TV. Why not?
Oh my word, John, are you kidding me? Oh my God. I said to God, I said, you know, if you want free funerals, you're gonna have to give me marketing people. I can't do this from the woods of Lake Gaston. And I found John and I found David and I found Paul and I remembered Stephen and there's people in the world that get it. And the insurance agents that don't tell their clients about this, Paul, are going to be looked poorly upon. The marketing agencies that told me we can't carry you and your project are going to look poorly upon. And it's going to be the common man who makes history.
And a
That's what's
particular
gonna happen.
common woman too, Sherry, that we're looking at.
Thank you.
By the way,
Thank-
Sherry, I see yesterday you picked up a different way to spread the word also. On
What's
the
that?
networking. You were on the networking yesterday.
I saw you. Yeah. Hi.
I said, okay, wouldn't this be interesting if we get in a one-on-one?
I was sending waves into the universe that they would couple us up so I could talk with you today. But any chance you get to tell me more about this Hulu adventure. What is this? What does that mean?
It's on the lot right now. It's on the Disney and Hulu live streaming. I'm just starting to play around with it. I just got able to get approved for two days ago, so it's still new to me. So I have to play around with it for myself. But it looks like they do 15 to 30-second videos right now.
And what's the
So-
cost on those? We've got some good videos, and Stephen is supposed to be making us more any moment.
The lowest price that they have, the lowest budget you can go is 500, but you can pick the amount of time you want to do it with. So I was playing around. I put in 500. I put the time span for a week, and it shows you how many impressions you will get. $100 for 1 week. It came up with, I think, close to 14,000 impressions in a week's time.
$100?
5.
500. All right. That's only 5 memberships.
Plus, it also gives you the option to define the audience that sees it, whether it be general area or by demographics. Same thing as doing regular ads on like Facebook.
But it's national like that. Hey, Paul, do you want to let's talk about the Kindness Project and your Simons for Seniors Paul has a nonprofit that it helps supply Simon games to senior living care societies and to increase their mental brain. How's that go, Paul? Tell us about that.
Well, I appreciate you asking. I really wanted to focus on what John was saying. That's why I was looking down at my calculator.
Oh,
And it's
I'm
great
sorry.
information, John. I got to try to figure out how I can help Sherry. And I've been trying to figure out how I can work with this. I'm getting about, well, I just looked, 139,000 impressions a week on my Alignable page. So I somehow got to figure out how to help this project with that. Simons for Seniors, and we're not here about Simons for Seniors. We're here to become trees. Simons for Seniors is just a gift, a blessing. It's a nonprofit that I started last year because basically the audience is going to love this. I'm just a 4-year-old. Soon I aspire to be 5, but I thought about turning 5 when I turned 65 last year. I'll be 66 next month, but I'm going to wait until 70 to progress to age 5. So as a 4-year-old, a lot of my friends have nonprofits, and I'm like, why don't I have a nonprofit? So I've been playing Simons since they were built in 1978, and sometimes people aren't clear, especially a younger generation, on what a Simon is. So we got backgrounds for everything. They're coolest. So Simon, and I've got 150 plus of them here in my home, which is ridiculous. But for years, I've been teaching at senior centers. I love seniors. I love, as a 4-year-old, you would love seniors. I love seniors. And I've been teaching driver education at senior centers for years. So when we got into the pandemic and being restricted and not being able to communicate with one another like we've been created to do, as we came out of it, I saw all the different types of events that were occurring at the senior center. And I started going to the directors saying, can I bring the Simons to the senior center and have fun with the seniors? I was just going to have fun, and they were loving it. Then I started to do some research and found out that there are many physical therapy organizations across the country that use these for physical therapy. And then I come to find out there are different athletic organizations, basketball, football, that use this with their athletes. And then when I started to introduce this to the senior centers, directors were going out to Walmart and buying an assignment. And I'd come back the next month and they were like, we're so glad you introduced this to us because we're playing with our grandchildren playing Simon. I didn't think about bringing generations together. Then I brought this out to a friend of mine in San Diego where we started doing events. And he's like, Paul, I'm from the Mexican community here in San Diego. You know, there's no language barrier with this. And I didn't think about all the aspects and possibilities of building out. So I applied for a nonprofit. My friends told me that would take a couple of years to get approved. I put the application in with the government, and 6 weeks later, I had a nonprofit. So I have the nonprofit Simons for Seniors. Thank you for asking about it, Sherry. It's a blessing. It's just having a lot of fun with seniors who want somebody to interact with them, who enjoy playing the game. It does help them with their memory and coordination. And it's just a lot of fun.
I want our seniors to be able to learn about this, and I want our youth to be able to introduce it. And so I made it a part of the kindness campaign that I created that David and John need to help me write. But I have this beautiful campaign for young people to be an ambassador of kindness for their community. And it's like without regard to cost. So any poor kid can be a ambassador for their little town or county or state, without regard to money. So we could donate a Simon to a child, donate these screenplays that we have and books, and allow them to go out and teach kindness throughout their community. And I know that that's exactly what this world needs, is a whole lot more kindness. So what else have you got, David Hutt? You've been awful patient down there. You've been snapping your wrist with a rubber
Oh
band
yeah,
or something.
I'm just loving everything. Paul, who I've been friends with online for a long time, and is to me a very dear friend. I just love him. Had never really talked to me about Simon. So one of the side benefits of humility, Sherry, which we're all living in, and Stephen already is in his way, and John in their way, is that you get stuff that you can't imagine you got. And so I'm already seeing how this can help seniors in Asheville, since I live in a senior area, and Paul never had to talk to me about it directly because we got it indirectly. So one of the side benefits of humility, and I'm a total rebel, Stephen, like you are, is that arrogance just starts to fade away very naturally. This is not a 1, 2, 3 about how to become humble. Simply being around humble people. All of you know the phrase, 2 or more are gathered in your name. When 2 or more humble people are gathered, there is this natural humility that lives by itself.
Beautiful.
I just want to chime in real quick. So I grew up with a cousin, the special needs cousin. So having autism awareness will humble you. And if you have never had that experience, it's life changing. And it's interesting how God can use humility to bring your heart where it needs to be so that he can use you and you have value to him. So yeah, I don't know your program. I don't know this humble,
We'll
this
talk.
humility.
Don't worry. We're here
Yeah,
for
yeah,
We'll
yeah.
talk.
I'm definitely interested. But let's change gears real quick. I want to get back into what we were talking about when you were talking about this Disney, this campaign you have, this marketing strategy. I think that was you, John. You were talking about the Disney Hulu. So when you were talking, the first thing that came to my mind is this is a talking point that I can bring to conversations when asking for donations specifically for the promotion of this, because obviously nothing is free. And I mean, even with what I do, I got a marketing budget. So even with having a marketing budget, there's still things that you can do to really generate the growth. And I see that. I see the potential in that. And I just I'm curious to know about the donate button. Like, is there like a separate something that we would funnel people into, or is it all just the Let's Be Trees sign up, the one-time flat rate $100 membership that covers this? Like, how would we go about with this new business strategy? How would we go about funneling people into some type of donate button so that they can at least help us get the word out digitally?
We have a PayPal link on the website, and I'm going to start a new Give Butter account. There's also I think that's all we have now. PayPal, which is right on the website, letsbetrees.org. Hey, is that your daughter?
No, guys, hold on. So no, this is my best friend, Natasha. So
Hi.
Natasha, I'm putting her on. She has no idea I'm doing it. She just hopped in the car and was like, "There's a live stream." Yeah, so now you're part of it. But she is anti funeral industry. I mean, it's like the birthing industry. It might as well be factory farming, you know. And so she has a passion about what she wants to do with her burial rites. And you want to give them a quick little something? You want to say hi to everybody real quick?
Hi, everybody. I apologize. I was not prepared for this. I'm coming from work. But Stephen has told me about what y'all got going on, and I think it's really wonderful. I have more recently have become more aware of the whole industry behind death. And I just know that I don't want my carbon to waste away to a sealed box to be gone from the earth for however long, when it should be going back, and it should be it shouldn't be such a stressful process for the people left behind. And yeah, I just very simple. I just think there's a much more natural way to do it. Again, I'm sorry I'm put on the spot right now. I wasn't prepared, but maybe I could come back at another time when I'm more prepared. I'm gonna give that to Steven.
It's
Thank you, Mom.
okay. Thank you. Thank you. I love it. We've got generations here that all agree that there's something totally needs to be done. And when two or more come together, you can move mountains. Mountains are going to be moved. Hurdles are going to be climbed. Get that mountain and throw it into the sea. That's when we come together. That's all. And when you're doing what is right for humanity, how can it fail? It's not gonna. What is right will always win in the end. So we just need, like Steven said, we need an advertising budget, because God knows these marketing guys, other than John Petros Sr., Mill City Marketing, right? Mill City Marketing MA.com. John said to me, I said, John, I don't have any money. We got to do this anyway. He said, okay.
May I say something about Paul right now?
Yeah.
So Paul, modestly enough, doesn't tell you what he does for a living. He is, in my judgment, and I am a tutor among other things, the best insurance educator in the United States. Okay. If any of you, Stephen or John or your friend Natasha, know anybody that any insurance company or agency, whatever, he is brilliant at helping people pass tests and charges far too little for it. Thank you.
It's
It's
Stephen.
not about Paul. What is wrong with you, David? It's not about.
You
By the
can't
way,
stop
Sherry, I
me.
put in the chat to overtalk him. I put in the chat because you're thinking about your kindness, community, all that. You may want to meet Ed Harrell. He started the kindness revolution back in 2007. Has a radio show. He has community ambassadors that spread kindness all over the United States, works with young people in spreading this kindness. So you may want to meet and look into, I put the information in the chat for you, the Kindness Revolution.
You
So that's
sent
also a
that to
nonprofit that's centered around working with the insurance industry and spreading kindness through communities.
I had looked him up because of your advice a couple weeks back. Thank you for reminding me. Absolutely. Thank you, because he already has a following, so we could get it done.
And that's a good person for you to be on his show. She's trying to figure out what to make of Paul. Nobody can figure out what to. Don't even try. Don't try. Just ride along with the little trees. We're all going to become a forest.
We could all become a forest, and then we wouldn't be scared to be. We wouldn't be in some lonely cemetery up on the hill. We'll be in a big, beautiful forest together, and we won't be scared.
And trees, as you know, connect with each other, and they have a certain kind of intelligence that's pretty amazing.
You know, I sat out here one day. I won't keep you guys much longer, but I sat out here. You guys might not all know this, but I live in the woods, and the lake is down there, and I'm up here with the deer and the trees and the birds, and where I'm really lucky with this spot on the lake. But I looked out my window one day and I thought, my God, if everybody could be just as kind as that tree. And it hit me like a tree just gives. It takes everything life throws at it. It takes the wind and the rain and the storms and the sun and the woodpeckers, and it takes the worms and the fungus and gives,
Mushrooms.
right? Yeah.
Sherry, you know how blessed you are to be there. You see where I am now? On the beach, on the damn beach. And now, because coolness likes the backgrounds. This coolness, this is where I lived for the first 65 years. This is an actual drone shot from my drone in my backyard. I left this 6 months ago to move to the beach. That's where I lived.
Wow. Wow.
I did an archaeological dig on that mountain as a college course at SUNY New Paltz, and we dug up artifacts dated back 5,000 years that are in the Museum of Natural History. But that's where I used to live. No, you know how beautiful it was there? No, I have to follow my wife to the beach in Florida.
Listen, she would have never gotten me out of there. This is just a little single wide mobile home. I've never lived in a mobile home in my life. I have found more peace, more heaven, more calmness, more of who I am right here in this little tiny can than I've ever had in my entire life. It isn't about it's about getting back to nature, and I'm just so grateful to for everything, and to know and have you guys all here, to have you guys on my team. Thank you. Anybody got anything left to say? What's going on?
I do. Yeah, so I just want to real quick just cram some stuff in this podcast. So some of the strategic planning, the things I got going on for this campaign, just going to go through my bullet points I got written up. And develop a comprehensive business development strategy aligned with the company's goals and objectives, identify target markets, key stakeholders, and growth opportunities within the natural, funeral, and burial industry. I'm going to establish short-term and long-term objectives to guide business development efforts. And as far as membership growth, implement marketing campaigns and promotional activities to attract new memberships to the organization, collaborate with the marketing team to create engaging content, including newsletters, social media posts, and email campaigns. I'm going to build relationships with industry influencers, organizations, and community groups to expand and attract potential members. And develop and maintain relationships with donors, sponsors, philanthropic organizations interested in supporting our mission. Create fundraising initiatives, events, and campaigns to solicit donations and financial contributions. Research and apply for grants, sponsorships, and other funding opportunities to support our programs and initiatives. And basically, I want to find people that want to partner with letsbetrees.org. Like Sherry says, this is a numbers game. Right now, we need numbers. And yeah, the donation, the $100 flat rate, yeah, but right now it's a numbers thing. So first, let's work on building the numbers and taking accountability for where I see myself in this industry. I just want to let y'all know where my focus is at. That way, iron sharpens iron. You guys can hold me accountable to see where my growth is on this. So when we do our follow-ups and we continue to check in, my feet can be held to the fire. And yeah, and that way I can really drive this and you guys can see the numbers and see the growth. So I just want you to see, at least with me, there's so much value in this. And I just want to use my set skills to add my value to the team to help kick this thing off.
What do you think about that, David? That deserves another background change. See, he's in the wrong meeting. He's in the wrong meeting. I don't know why Sherry hasn't invited him sooner. I don't know why she hasn't introduced me to him sooner, but all right. Now he's got to come Tuesday to our
Tuesday, 4 to 4:30, Stephen. Hope you can make it. We'll get you the info and call me.
Hey,
to our
John,
humility.
too. John, please come. I'll pay for the first month.
Stop paying. Stop paying. You got to put the money towards the trees.
We'll figure it out. Don't worry. Thanks.
So it's like a love offering to me. If I could get everybody that I have to deal with to be humble, can you imagine what we couldn't do together? Could you imagine? Because we wouldn't be attached to being right. We would be attached to doing what was right. That's where we need to go. And what is good is what? God. There's never going to be any harm in doing what is good. And I truly believe that, God is good, good is God. And everything that we do that is good is God. So God is a verb.
Good share.
In case you didn't know that, God's a
Focus.
verb. Spread the
Just
love.
focus.
It's your
Focus.
neighbor.
Focus. When you work to improve the lives of others, your life improves automatically. That's all. Just keep focusing on that.
Yep. Yep. Anybody got anything else? John, you got something profound to allow?
Well, one
I
thing
got
is,
something.
I guess me
John,
and Steve,
John's first.
me and Steve are gonna have to work real close together. And David.
Awesome. Emily, are you there?
Yeah, I think Stephen had something to say.
Oh, yeah. Come on,
I'm
Stephen.
so used to these Zoom things having the raise hand. I'm a raise hand guy, you know what I mean? And I'll wait my turn to chime in, but I just didn't see the button at the bottom. I guess yeah, no. I would like for everybody to kind of just throw out, how can people find y'all? Like with me, I'm pretty easy to find. All my links will be in the bottom of this when I chop it up. And letsbetrees.org, Sherry, that's your organization. But like, can everyone give a plug? Can you give me like just a shameless plug? What do you got for the listeners?
Paul,
You
go
see,
ahead.
Steuben, I raised my hand. I raised my hand just for you. Here you go. Raise the hand. Lower the hand.
Paul, go ahead.
I ain't gonna be shameless. This won't be. It's hard to find me. It's hard to find me. So I shared with somebody earlier today. Is this your phone? It's been my phone number since 1999. What's wrong with these people? All right. If you want to find me, it's this simple. All you got to do is type Paul L. Odendahl in Google, and you get like 8 pages of information. But I'm not that important. Or if you call Boston and call Alignable and you say, what is Alignable? They'll say, call Paul Odendahl. He's Alignable. So you can find me on Alignable. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on the space station. You can find me Google, everywhere. That's a little arrogant though, Stephen. That's arrogant. But it's the truth. I'm like everywhere.
I want to go next.
Raise your
Hey.
electronic hand. Your electronic hand. No,
I
not your
don't
hand.
know where that lives. I got this hand. I am, other than this beautiful concept that I have created for humanity, I am a salesperson for multiple contractors, and I bring corporate contracts to small to medium contractors. So if you know somebody that is wanting to grow, can grow, is honest and has all his ducks in a row, like I need $1 million worth of insurance across the board. I need just good guys that are positioned to grow. And I will bring them corporate contracts, and I get paid just strictly on commission. So they have no reason not to hire me, because it's there's no skin off their neck, and I price the jobs to cover my costs. So let me know.
John?
Go ahead.
Me, okay. I'm real simple to find. I use the same thing on every site. Mill City Marketing MA. Type that into Google and see what you come up with. A page and a half. And then some. That's my email, that's my website, everything.
And I having reason to be humble about my abilities on computers, very simple. My email is DACTtutor, because I'm DACT tutor, DACTTUTOR@gmail.com. I've had 43 students get perfect scores on the ACT and SAT. I also teach quantum physics, and I love teaching poetry to people who are on the spectrum and disabled and all that, because once they learn poetry, they have such a powerful voice that they never ever knew they had, and their lives will change forever.
And by the way, quantum physics, we need to have a whole another conversation.
We got a lot to talk about, don't we, Steve?
The subatomic world, what did Einstein call it? Spooky action at a distance. Yeah,
Yeah.
I see you. Yeah. I'm easy to find. My business development, my personal entity company, it's called Guerrilla the Market, like guerrilla warfare, not the ape. But my email is steven@guerrillathemarket.com. STEVEN, the little @ symbol, GUERRILLA, themarket.com. So yeah, I'd love to hear feedback from anybody listening to this. If anyone has any suggestions, if anyone has any good links that they could send our way to help us with the numbers and help us generate the traffic, please do so. And if there are any ambassadors out there, if there's anybody that wants to get involved in letsbetrees.org, please just go and sign up. And Sherry, if you go to, you'll see her contact is at the bottom of the website, all the way to the left. You'll see the contact info. Reach out to her, because this is no one can run from this. You can only run into it. Lean into this. Lean forward, move forward, join the movement. It's a grassroots movement, and let's be trees.org.
You guys make me so proud. We're gonna do this together. We'll move mountains.
I'm waiting for the day that we start getting some funeral directors involved.
Just like the insurance agents, they're gonna have to face it, or they're gonna look like the bad guy. If they don't tell their customers that the state is trying to, the people are trying to do something different, then they're gonna look poor. So
Sherry, you
kinda
can
like-
take a positive approach to this. You should take well, not saying that you're not taking a positive approach to this. You're not going to replace the industry. That's not going to happen. But I can already tell you how many funeral directors I've spoken to who were interested. They used to be interested in building a relationship with a life insurance person. Now they want to be involved in the life insurance industry because they have feelings too, even though they're funeral directors. You get to hear the conversations I have with them, how devastated they are when families come to them and don't have a way to cover last expenses. So taking an approach to go to that industry that John's speaking of, with the thought of this is an alternative to feel that feeling that you have when a family comes here and they're crying and they're distraught over the loss of a family member and they don't have the funds for just a basic funeral. You have an ability to have an alternative for them to turn to. So they'll be able to share that, okay, we have somebody that can assist you. As opposed to, we're sorry, we can't assist you. Try starting a GoFundMe fund and see if you can raise the amount of dollars that are needed to have the funeral. So
the problem
this would
with
be a
that,
great alternative to that situation.
the problem though with that, Paul, is that we're not going to be an at-need facility. We are a private membership society. And the only people that I see us being able to admit as honorary members are going to be like widows and orphans. We're not going to be, if somebody dies, it's too late. You have to be a member because of IRS. This is a private membership, not open to the general public, but not, we can't make sales to the general public. Does
So
that
the
make
funeral
sense?
industry could be a member, could be a funeral industry or a funeral owner. Like my friend Chris could be a member, and then he could utilize that membership for those who were not in a financial position to pay for last expenses.
So
have
he
an-
could buy, 10, 20, 50, 100 memberships and give them away. So but we're going to be limited. So like on a 300-acre parcel of land, we're thinking we can bury 300,000 people. That's how many memberships that we can sell. So once those are gone, there are no more members in that society. We got to find another property.
John, you're muted. I mean, Steve, you're muted.
No, as y'all were talking, the first thing that was coming to my mind is like, what if we could get pastors and church organizations involved to, they pass donation plays. They're 501c3 already, so what if a pastor, who's a decision maker for his congregation, if the pastor were to be on board and there would be a special fund for this, I mean, there's plenty of churches that don't have room for a cemetery. There's plenty of churches that love their congregation, that know what they preach the funeral. They know, they pass the plate around. If they knew this was an option, would they turn back to this? So once again, marketing, how if the tree fell in the woods and no one's there to hear it, doesn't make a sound. So yeah, by the way, that's a funny pun, the tree, but yeah, I'm just sitting here thinking, like, as you guys are talking, I'm trying to think solutions. And right now, to be able to have the churches involved in this, it's something that's honorable. It's something that they would probably buy 100 plots just to do it, if they could, because people, tend to will property and tend to will things to the church. And the church might see that as like a compound investment and flip it into something for their congregation. So it's really like, what does this look like on paper? And and then like in conversation, like, I guess I'm going to try and really sit on this, but I love where this is going. I love hearing just the dialogue going on, because it's got me thinking in ways that I wasn't thinking before this call.
I wrote a letter to pastors, the actual board of directors. So I'm happy to share that with you, and then we can alter it and whatever. But I want to be the graveyard for churches without graveyards. All right,
Guys, I'm sorry. I gotta go. I gotta handle some stuff. Listen, I
Yeah,
love
no-
y'all. I know we just met. Sherry, I love you. Paul, John, and David. Make sure. And who's that? Emily, I see you still down there. Guys, I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for having me on this. I'm in it to win it. I'm in it for the big win. I'm invested. I see the vision, and I want to make these donations happen. I want to make the signups happen. And so using this content and other videos, we're going to do it. We're going to hit our numbers, and we're going to find the right thing. We're going to find that KPI that takes this to the next level. And I'm going to, like I said, lean into this. You can't run from it. Lean into it. So guys, I love y'all. Have a great day. Okay.
Thank you, Stephen. You too.
Anytime.
Uh,
Bye.
Emily, unless anybody else has anything, you guys good? You guys ready to
The
wrap
only
it
thing I
up?
was going to mention, Sherry, is besides the fact that I got to connect with Stephen, this may be another positive, not as positive as John's earlier, but Simons for Seniors has been blessed to be interviewed by iHeartRadio 3 times. So maybe we can get Stephen on iHeartRadio to discuss this movement. I think that would be a positive thing.
That would
And
be
one
a
last, and go ahead. And one last thing, Sherry, in terms of what you said, any speculation about the future usually is a waste of energy. It's going to happen in a way that none of us know. That's the only thing I'm sure of. And love you all. Wonderful conversation. Talk to you all soon.
Thank you, David. You are the best. Thank you, guys. Emily, you're gonna close us down, shut it down.
Yeah, thank you everybody for coming. We are here every week at the same time. So if anybody is just coming back, or if anybody wants to be a guest, let us know. But I'll see everybody next week or next time.